Malaysia juga menghadapi cabaran yang agak getir. Kadar pengangguran di Malaysia adalah di paras 3.9%.
So, isu yang tak settle-settle di Malaysia lagi adalah pengangguran.
Pengangguran meningkat kepada 5.0% pada bulan April 2020.
Mustahil ke kalau kita nak lahirkan usahawan sebenar melalui pendidikan tinggi?
Kalau kita tengok artikel tentang situasi di Malaysia, ada 200,000 graduan yang tak ada kerja.
Disebabkan teknologi yang berubah, perubahan ekonomi, perubahan pemikiran generasi baru, education yang dulu tu mungkin tidak lagi bersesuaian.
Dan mengikut anjuran Jabatan Perangkaan Malaysia pada 14 Mei 2020, kadar pengangguran dijangka akan meningkat.
Marriage, perkahwinan antara traditional learning and kemahiran. Welcome to the revolution.
Good morning. Hey, Shaban, Farah, Safwan, Hamiza. So good to see you all again. Wow. It's Thursday again, isn't it? Or did I get the days wrong? Or Wednesday? I can't remember. I've been staying home for the past few days. So due to the rise in cases, my kids' school has been affected. So we are all staying home to be responsible. Let's go back to our whole topic for this week. We are talking about negotiations, and last week we did marketing, previous week we did presentations. So where did we left off? Yesterday I think we talked about the red, blue and purple way of negotiation, and today we're going to cover as to how do we normally respond to a negotiation stance. Because always remember this, is that whenever we negotiate, it's an art, it's a dance. It's not about basically what I put out there, I expect people to buy or expect people to agree with me. You need to understand one thing, that when people reject your ideas, it's never about rejecting you personally, but rejecting just the idea. The biggest problem is a lot of people always feel that whenever people don't agree with them, they are not agreeing with themselves. Hey Zeti, nice to see you. Hey Sufi. Yeah, so ultimately, the key to every single negotiation, it's about you. I don't know, somehow I feel that every single topic that I talk about, it's all about you. And if you can manage your life properly, if you can manage your emotions, then you will be able to negotiate, or you can present quite easily. Because ultimately, let's put it this way, every single person, whenever they're trying to negotiate or to come to you, what do you think is their first tactic? It's all about, first, they try to pretend they're angry. They raise their voices. They would actually then ask you for a very exorbitant amount, and they will, after they actually say it, they will actually look at you. What they're trying to do is they're trying to observe your body language to see whether you actually buy into their tricks or not. So the idea here is that whenever you're negotiating with a person, if the person is angry or the person is very harsh, what do we do? Now, It's very, very tricky to say, because let's put it this way. When a person is trying to be very angry and when they talk to you, they expect you to reply in the same way that they are doing it. And that means you are into the trick. But yet at the same time, let's say if the person is very harsh, very loud, and you sit there and, okay, smile. This confuses the brains of the person as well, because ultimately the person will say, maybe I'm not doing it right. I need to be harsher. So where do we draw the stance? You see, the technique that I normally play whenever we are dealing with negotiation and influence is very simple. Let the person do whatever they want to do. Because in hypnosis, what we realize here is that when the person gets angry, the person goes into trance. When the person goes into trance, they have their own brain waves and they do not actually think logically. So as they are going on faster and faster, they will say things as they want to say. So what we do is, as long as we hold our stand, and to be very clear, I'll wait for a person to finish, and what I normally do is to break the state. So the thing is, the person, what do you do? See, the moment you break the person's states or break the person's emotional pattern, there will be a gap in their brainwaves. The moment there's a break in the brainwaves, this is when you will be able to have a chance to insert the point. So if the person says, you better give me this price, if not, we're gonna da 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 da, they will just go repeating it. I'll just wait. And the moment the person finishes, I'll just, all right, yes, that's great idea. I'm sure you will actually accept this as my proposal. People look at it. What are you talking about? I just said, I'm sure you will accept this as my proposal. Now, when a person's state is actually being broken, you need to assert. But yet at the same time, you cannot command too much as well. So the structure of the language needs to be very, very careful. I would say, I'm sure you would accept. People are like, what English is that, Adrian? I said, well, if you look at grammar, it's not right. But the thing is, the way I've actually put it is actually a command to the brains which you do not actually understand. And when you don't understand, this is when people will accept it. You follow what I'm saying? Because you need to understand that your brains is not there to talk about flowery language. We're not talking about English grammar. We are talking about as long as the result is workable. So the topic today we are talking really about is really how do you respond when somebody tries to negotiate with you? It's about, do you respond in the same way? If the person gets angry, do you get angry? The answer is no. But you cannot do a total entire contrast as well, because ultimately the person gets angrier. So how do you hold a stand in between and at the same time being ready to assert your point when you need to, and to always break state? I do crazy things like slap my hands, whatever it is, or I will shout. It's just to distract the current brainwaves of that person. So if you can do that, then ultimately you will know. Or you can say things like, actually, let's not get into that negotiation after all. You're like, didn't you come to me to propose this? But the idea is to make silly statements. Make statements which are not predictable. The more predictable that you become, the more people can influence you. You follow what I'm saying? So you need to always be different. And the moment you become more and more different, people do not know what you're going to do most. Because I think Sun Tzu Art of War actually also said this. It's about know thy enemy. then you can manage your enemy. But if you cannot be predicted, then nobody will be able to kind of like judge where you're going to go and take your next step. Because before I go into every single negotiation or every single company, I already know the objection points of the other person. And if you know the objections point of the other person, you can prepare. So what we are saying is that if you know how the person's mind is already thinking, you will be able to manage the other person and to be a step ahead. Remember, negotiation, just like anything else, is a chessboard. If you know your partner, you know what they're thinking, you already know what's next step they're going to. Hey, Fatin, good morning. Good to see you, although I'm almost finishing, but good to see you still. Anyways, so idea here is remember whatever lessons that I shared in the previous videos as well. It's know your customer, know your opponent, know the person. The moment you can actually figure out the other person, you will know what stance they are. DISC is always very important because if I'm going to negotiate with a dominant person, for example, there is not much of negotiation really. It's about, sir, this is my proposition. You want to buy it or you don't. If you don't, that's fair enough. It's your life. Basically, there's so many more out there that's actually going to be valuable. And because they are very dominant, they will actually buy from you. All right, because they want to be part of the game. Influencers is all about, I'm not going to talk to you about business. We are just friends. Yada, yada, yada. We talk about it. And if you want to sign up, you want to sign up. Don't sign with us, it's fine. But everyone else is doing it. So your choice. A steady person will be is that if you were to sign up today with me, I can guarantee you these are the results. Compliance, on the other hand, will be I give you the picture, I give you the numbers, I give you every single thing, then you sign up. This is the value you will get. So personality is very, very important. And it also means that how they are going to basically react whenever they don't respond to you. So let's look at personalities. It's always very, very important. Tomorrow you can come back and how do we haggle? That means how do you haggle with a person? That means, let's put it this way. No negotiations is accepted at the very first proposition. The first proposal will never ever be accepted unless you are very, very lucky. I mean, if you're going to say, all right, sir, buy this iPad for 3,500 ringgit, people say, okay, let's buy. But in reality, do you think people will feel good? Because ultimately, people need to negotiate. People need to respond. All right. So till tomorrow, thank you so much for having me again, and looking forward to see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. See you then.
Malaysia juga menghadapi cabaran yang agak getir. Kadar pengangguran di Malaysia adalah di paras 3.9%.
So, isu yang tak settle-settle di Malaysia lagi adalah pengangguran.
Pengangguran meningkat kepada 5.0% pada bulan April 2020.
Mustahil ke kalau kita nak lahirkan usahawan sebenar melalui pendidikan tinggi?
Kalau kita tengok artikel tentang situasi di Malaysia, ada 200,000 graduan yang tak ada kerja.
Disebabkan teknologi yang berubah, perubahan ekonomi, perubahan pemikiran generasi baru, education yang dulu tu mungkin tidak lagi bersesuaian.
Dan mengikut anjuran Jabatan Perangkaan Malaysia pada 14 Mei 2020, kadar pengangguran dijangka akan meningkat.
a marriage perkahwinan antara traditional learning and kemahiran. Welcome to the revolution.